So anyway, Johnny tries to flame on, but his powers crashes out and he lands on the city street. Sue checks in on him. With all the touching happening, their power switches. Sue freaks out while flying up the building. Ree sees Sue, and they both freak the fuck out. And Ree tells Sue to go to Johnny. They touch one another again, and they get their respected powers back. Ree tells Johnny the cells in his body are changing because of the bad touch with the Silver Surfer, which is why he switched powers with Sue. Ree is not sure how bad the cell thing is, so Ben decides to touch Johnny, and this causes their powers to switch. I guess Ben felt like being a dick at that moment. Ben turns into a human again, and Johnny becomes the Thing. Johnny acts like a whiny bitch about it, and he touches Ben to have his human form again, as if Ben doesn't have enough emotional trauma while being the Thing. Ree tells Johnny not to go near anybody, and then Ben says this weird line.
You and me are gonna be spending a whole lot of time together, pal.
Okay, that sounded too creepy and way too sexual. Sue watches the news of her naked episode. Ree tells Sue to ignore public opinions, but Sue whines about not having a normal life, and Reed offers a solution of leaving the city after the surfer problem is over. And he plans to teach somewhere and do his normal science stuff again, and have a boring as fuck life with Sue. Yeah, this reminds me of something. Didn't Sue used to do science stuff in the first movie? I don't remember of what, but why isn't she doing the science stuff with you to help with the surfer problem? And is she gonna do science stuff in the future? I mean, what the fuck? Did she forget? Johnny overhears Reed say these things and walks away, butthurt. Somewhere cold, Dr. Doom meets up with the Silver Surfer and says that they could team up. I'm not really sure how would that work out because you can zap electricity out and the Surfer has space powers, so a team up wouldn't work. The Surfer tells Doom everything will end, which makes Doom very confused, and gets mad when the Surfer turns around on him, so he zaps him. Surfer is mad at Doom for zapping him, so he hits Doom with his space powers, putting him underneath the snowy mountain, and his scar body is healed. That's a really weird way to punish someone. Johnny tells Ben and Alicia about Reed and Sue leaving the team. And Ben and Johnny get really pouty about it. Alicia said that it's their choice and not theirs. That's true, but what's the plan for when there's only two heroes taking on world-ending threats? Is Johnny supposed to burn everything? And is Ben supposed to punch every problem there is? No one ever gives the answer to this. And they seem to be the only superheroes in their world. Just like any, movies like these in the 2000s. If they're out of commission, everyone is fucked. Reed comes into the room, letting the other guys know he learned some bad news or whatever. Reed tells everyone how he tracked down Surfer's energy by doing science stuff I don't understand. But I know the Surfer is going to the United Kingdom. At the UK, Reed has a plan to stop the Surfer. But Johnny decides to bitch at Reed for moving out of the building without telling anyone. And Ben joins in. Dudes, this is not a good time for family drama. People might die.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah, I'm with General Dude. This is an inappropriate moment for this kind of bullshit. Meanwhile, a hole is forming in the UK water and causes a wave and makes everything shake and for the spinny thing to fall apart. Sue uses her force fields to hold the thing. Reed stresses to hold the spinny thing. And Ben holds the thing from falling. And Johnny does nothing. The Surfer comes out of the water hole. Johnny tries to fly after him because he's an impatient bitch. And a rope hits him, causing him to fall on Reed's arm. And their power switch, which makes the spin thing fall faster. Ree tells Ben to lift the spinny thing higher, and then he blasts some fire to put the spin thing back together, which is a cool moment. Ree touches Johnny to get his powers back, and is pissed at him for being a douchebag. Oh, and there's no water in that UK area anymore. I'll talk more badly about this movie in part 5 or whatever.